So who are you? I mean, do you know what triggers you? Do you know what makes you really happy? Let's chat about self-awareness. Now, to be honest, growing up, yes, I heard about self-confidence, but I didn't really hear about the term self-awareness. What is self-awareness? And let's talk about the benefits of self-awareness. So self-awareness is when you understand yourself really well. You understand what makes you happy, what you like, what you dislike, what triggers you, what makes you really angry, what calms you down. It's the ability to really know yourself well. And obviously that comes through time. Now, some of the benefits of self-awareness include: number one, it improves emotional regulation. Simply put, it improves how you handle your emotions. So if you know that, okay, when I'm working and if I get disturbed too often when I'm working, I get annoyed. So if you know that about yourself, when it does happen, you aren't caught totally off guard because you know this about yourself. You know this is something that triggers you. So it helps you with your emotions, that you know yourself so well that it's not a surprise to you when you get irritated by certain things. And therefore you can be better prepared. So you know, okay, when you're working really hard and you're focusing and you're getting distracted by somebody too often, you know that, okay, I'm going to then understand that I'm just getting triggered and I'm going to have a shorter space of time where I just get over it, that the person has interrupted me and I can get back to what I was doing. Self-awareness also strengthens relationships because, yes, with self-awareness, you get to know yourself better, but you also get to understand other people better. You get to empathize. So when you know that somebody's having an off day, you can understand that they aren't going to be in the best moods. So that doesn't catch you by surprise as well, because you understand that they are going through something difficult and it's a stressful time for them. You are able to put yourself in their shoes and understand that if you were going through something similar, then you would be stressed out too. So it can definitely strengthen relationships with family members, with work colleagues, and life is all about relationships. So that's really, really helpful. When you are learning about self-awareness and you're really getting to know yourself well, it also helps with your self-growth, because think about it. If you know that you are really good at teaching people, for example, you have a knack of teaching, then you know that, okay, maybe when I pursue my studies, I'd like to be a teacher. So that's something that I could get into. Or maybe you know that you are really great at science and you could get into that field. So understanding your strengths with self-awareness helps you with your growth as a person in terms of your career, and also personally. Like maybe you realize, well, you know what, I really, really love yoga. Maybe you could even become a yoga teacher, something different for yourself, but something that you've always been thinking of, but didn't know how to actually tap into it. And once you start understanding, well, actually, this is something that makes me really, really happy, then you'd want to spend more of your time doing it. And it also can teach you about what you may not be that great at. So self-awareness also teaches you about things that you need to maybe work a bit more on. For example, maybe you want to be a great speaker. You want to be able to stand in front of 1,000 people and speak, but you aren't there yet. So maybe you realize, okay, maybe I need to go to places where public speaking is done very often so that I can learn the skills. So you're learning about your strengths and you're learning about areas for improvement with self-awareness. Now, self-awareness definitely boosts self-confidence, because think about it. With self-awareness, you start understanding that you are really great at certain things. And when you realize that you're great at certain things, you feel more confident in your abilities. So, for example, just say that you realize that, hey, you know what, I'm actually a good writer. And I've been putting off writing this book, but I should take a chance on myself because I am a good writer. So you're now building your confidence around writing that book that you've been putting off for such a long time. Because often, when we don't really think about our strengths, we can tell ourselves that we aren't actually really good at certain things when we are. So having that self-awareness of tapping into the things that you are good at makes you feel like I am confident about my skills and I'm actually going to even strengthen them by putting in more time and effort into the things that I actually do well. Because if I think that I'm a good writer today, if I practice writing every day, I'll become a great writer with time. So understanding that these are the things that I do well and I can be better at them, and also understanding that these are things that I don't do that well, but I can get better at them. So you're creating a plan for yourself with both scenarios. Number 6, when you become more self-aware, it also helps promote better stress management. Meaning that, okay, you know that if you are stuck in traffic, oh my gosh, you're going to see red. You're going to get so angry. So, maybe I shouldn't leave for work at this particular time. I could leave a bit earlier so that the traffic won't be that bad. So understanding yourself well so that you can manage stress more effectively, so that you aren't feeling stressed all the time. Maybe you know that you hate going grocery shopping when it's peak time. So you plan accordingly and you go grocery shopping when it's much quieter. So understanding your triggers, your pain points, what really irritates you, and trying to minimize the times that you get irritated. Because you can only know these things, what really irks you, once you understand yourself really well. Sometimes you can just continue with life, so robotically that we don't take a moment to reflect and get to know ourselves well. We are so busy trying to get to know other people that we don't invest that time in getting to know ourselves. Because I know that there are some people who don't even like spending time on their own. And if you don't spend time on your own, then how are you really going to know who you are? And knowing who you are really helps shape your life and makes it much easier to navigate. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.